So you've been having headaches and you've tried over-the-counter medication, prescription medication, you've watched a ton of YouTube videos and you're really not sure what to do. In this video, I'm going to go through my 5 things to avoid to wind up removing your headaches. I'm Dr. Gregg Gerstin, I'm a chiropractor, and I've been helping people to live a life of optimal health and well-being through natural means over the last 18 years. Through that, I've worked with tremendous amounts of people who have had problems with headaches, whether it's been cluster headaches, occipital headaches, sinus headaches, and there's a few foundational things that we got to look at in your life that you can make changes to right now that can wind up helping to remove, reduce, and get you over those headaches so that you don't ever have to deal with them again. If you like videos like this, or you know someone who's been suffering from headaches, please be sure to share this. Also, subscribe to our channel where we look to share with you tips and tools on how to solve problems yourself that you may be running into with your health, when you need to wind up getting additional help, and what that helps you wind up looking like. Next up, we're going to wind up going into our first tip. So sometimes having a headache is like having a film over the glasses of your eyes. So right now, we've got some guys out behind us actually cleaning those windows so we don't have that headachy film. But that's not the way you wind up removing things from your life. But you may need to, like clean your eyeglasses or get your eyeglasses checked. The tip I want to go over with you right now is a bit about what we put in our bodies. It's going to dictate whether or not we get headaches or have headaches. So a lot of times when you wind up eating aged foods like cheeses or wines, you can wind up having a higher likelihood of having headaches and migraines. So you want to be real careful about the foods that you put in. Looking to eliminate as much cheese and or aged foods is a great idea in terms of trying to understand what your body is overreacting to. Other things that you might want to look at that are in your fridge, that's why we're standing here, and I'm going to take a peek. Can wind up being just general cheeses. Another few things could be grains or foods that are inside that your body just doesn't wind up responding to. And hydration. Hydration is a massive fact that can wind up causing difficulties with headaches. Regular and consistent hydration throughout the day is a massive tool to wind up using to wind up improving your hydration. Now, maybe we should say hi. Guys, thanks for helping us out. The other thing that I want to show you is what we keep in our fridge that can also be helpful. So these are some of our favorite ice packs. And what many people don't know is that when you're having a headache, one of the things that you can wind up doing is to take an ice pack and you could lay it across your upper back and your shoulders. If you lay it there for about 5 minutes, it changes how the blood flow goes to your head and your neck, and it can wind up reducing the headache that you're experiencing. So there's another tip for you that's kind of a bonus and it wasn't a part of the plan. A chiropractor can identify what's causing the problem and help provide you safe, natural, and permanent relief. That's amazing! Now, if you're like many, we're using technology more and more absolutely every day. And for many of us, whether it's a screen or our telephones, we're using them in positions that really compromise how our body works and can trigger headaches. So if it's a computer and we're too close to the screen or too far away from the screen or our TV, or if it's our phone and we're looking down at it, or we've got it way up close, which is really, really common, we've got to make sure that we're using these properly. So the best habits to wind up having is for your eyes to be about 15 inches away from a screen. So for most adults, if you wind up taking your hand and you put them double together, that winds up being about the distance, right? We should also wind up using our technology like that. Additionally, you want to use your technology up right at eye level. And this can be hard, especially if you're doing it for a long period of time. It can wind up being, your shoulder workout, so you can stand upright and you can wind up being strong. Otherwise, you wind up needing to changing the position you're in so that your eyes and the technology are at the same level, or use a tool to wind up helping you hold it. Lastly, we wind up wanting to look at our desk, and if you're using a desk, you want to make sure you're using the right ergonomics. What I'm going to do is provide a link to our playlist where we talk about the 3 most common ergonomic setups. That's going to be a computer, a laptop, or a tablet, and how you need to set it up. It's got the different positions. It also has tools you can use at home to set it up properly, or it's got the things that you can wind up purchasing online to wind up helping to make that the right position. But using your technology properly and taking small breaks regularly throughout can wind up helping to prevent your technology from causing headaches. Next up, another great tip. Okay, so this one is sometimes really hard to believe or to understand, and it's a little bit of some doctor-patient talk right now. It has to do with one of the main tools that people wind up using to help manage their headaches, and that winds up being over-the-counter medications, painkillers. So these commonly will wind up causing headaches, and it's because of the misuse that it winds up happening. You know, these were designed to be occasionally used. That means like once a month. What we've grown to is using them every week and multiple times a week to wind up managing a headache that we get every day. You see, if you're having headaches or migraines daily, you wind up needing help. And if you've gone through your medical doctor and all the and neurologist and the options that they've provided, then it may be time that you need to take a look at something different. I'm going to guide you to stick around because I think I've got a bonus tip that you'll really like on trying to figure out what those other options may be. If you've been taking painkillers, medications, Aleve, Tylenol, Advil, these things are not meant for regular use. So if you're using them regularly, they may actually be causing you to have more headaches. Reaching out to the proper person to help you with that's really essential. So if you're doing that, I'll be happy to help you find the right person. Write down in the comments. I respond to them as quickly as I can to help you find the right person to find the cause of these headaches so that you don't need to continue to take those medications regularly. The next tip that I wanted to go over with you that's massively important in managing headaches and can help restore them is making sure to breathe. Breathing is something that we always do and we need to be doing. However, many times as we go through stressful occurrences or different periods in our life or day, our breathing can become real shallow. That really limits the oxygen to our body and the oxygen to our brain. So making sure that you take deep breaths and do breathing cycles or exercises is super important to help avoiding headaches. Here I'm going to go ahead and take you through one of my favorite exercises on how to breathe. It's called box breathing. So for that, we're going to wind up taking a breath in for a count of 4. We're going to hold it for a count of 4. We're going to breathe out for a count of 5, and then we're going to hold it for a count of 4. I know, it's a little bit of a trapezoid, not quite a box, but deal with it. So we're going to get started and just take our deep breath in for a count of 4. We're going to hold it for a count of 4. We're going to breathe out for a count of 5. We're going to hold it for a count of 4. Go through this and do about 5 cycles a couple of times a day, and it'll really help to improve the oxygen levels in your body. Now, you don't have to close your eyes or sit Indian style or, crisscross applesauce, but you'll want to be sure to do somewhere where you can tune out. So if you're in your office and you want to do this, you may need to put on some headphones, but I really love to do this outside where the air is fresh and the air is clean. Next up, we're going to go into another one of my solid tips for managing headaches and migraines. Okay, so if you're like many, this last one is going to be really important, okay? For many people, we wind up doing things like drinking coffee or having a bit of caffeine throughout our day. And one of the things that can cause a headache is a change in the frequency or intensity or amount of caffeine that we wind up having. You see, caffeine winds up actually being a drug. And our body winds up actually getting used to it. And what it does is it causes our blood vessels to open up wide. And when our blood vessels open up wide, it can alter how the blood flow gets to our brain and cause us to have more headaches or change in headaches. So if you've been drinking caffeine and you stop cold turkey, you may wind up getting a headache. If you've been drinking caffeine and you change the type of caffeine you have, you may get more headaches. If you've been drinking caffeine and you want to figure out, hey, I'm done with this, the best way to wind up getting off the caffeine, there's 2 ways to really go. There's that one that I mentioned earlier of cold turkey, and you just stop doing it. It usually winds up causing you to have some side effects, including headaches and migraines, as your body gets used to this new state of this lack of drug, caffeine. Or you can wind up doing a tapering method. That means that, let's say you wind up drinking 2 cups of coffee a day. You wind up shifting to drinking 1 cup of coffee a day for a week. Then you shift to drinking no cups of coffee for a week. You need to check with your body and check in and see how you respond, because if in that first week when you cut your dose in half, you still wind up getting headaches, you may want to adjust at that level for a longer period of time. So your body gets used to less caffeine, and then take a smaller jump the next time so you don't have as severe a reaction. This one's a lot harder to do because it takes longer and because then you have to keep yourself honest. right? I find that things that are either yes or no are a lot easier to wind up accomplishing rather than I'm going to drink half or half, do half, 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 and half-lifing things. But that's going to be up to you and how you work best. Once again, caffeine is another major component that can wind up causing headaches and you should be aware of. So you've been having problems with headaches and you've wanted some tips on things to do at home. I think we went through and gave you some things that you can wind up doing easily in your life that can reduce the likelihood of headaches and migraines. Now, if you're still having problems, I gave you that bonus tip. And if you want help with finding that corrective chiropractor, talk in the comments below. Also, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together some mini clips of the techniques we talked about, like the breathing technique and how to quit caffeine, and I'm going to put it on our TikTok channel. So go ahead, in the show notes, I'll put our TikTok channel. Go ahead and head over there and subscribe to get more tips on how to avoid problems with headaches and migraines, and so that you can get back to life. Now, if you know someone who's had headaches, this is a great video for you to pass along to them so that they can get the tips that you just learned and they can start making changes in their lives. If you need more help, feel free to reach out to me. I'm always here to help. And I'm looking forward to seeing you headache-free and living life the way you want. Once again, I'm Dr. Gregg Gerstin, and thank you for letting me be a part of your health.